Hello, my dear students. Let me discuss with you Honest Blindness, a poem written by John Milton. This is a sonnet. A sonnet is a 14-line poem which is divided into two stanzas. The first 8 lines are called octave, and the last 6 lines are called sestet. An octave presents a problem, and the last 6 lines, a sestet, gives a solution to that problem. So, to be specific to this poem, Honest Blindness, it is one of the first poems that Milton wrote after becoming blind. He became blind very early in his life, even before reaching 50 years. So, he became so frustrated, confused about what to do with this talent, this talent of writing poems. So, he wanted to write, but he could not write. Finally, he took the help of his daughter to write the poem, so he dictated the poem to his daughter. So, in the first 8 lines, he presents his problem. So, his inability to write poems, according to him, that is the service that he wants to do to his creator for giving him that special gift of or the talent of writing poems. So, let me analyze line by line. When I consider how my light is spent ere half my days in this dark world and wide, when I look back, how my life has become a waste even before half my life or half my days, that means life, in this dark world and wide. So I am here in this world which is dark to me because of my blindness, and it is a waste world, so it's a dark and waste or wide world. And he's not worried about his inability to do his daily or routine activities because of his blindness, but he's worried about that special talent that God has given to him, that is writing poems, which is death to hide. Hiding that talent is equal to death for him. And where is it now? It is still lodged with me, useless. It is still staying with me, inside me, the talent of writing poems. It is lodged, it is staying with me, useless. It has become useless because of blindness. But as he's not writing, it doesn't mean that he doesn't want to write. So he says, though my soul more bent to sorrow there with my maker, my soul is willing. It is hell bent on to sorrow there with my maker. He wants to write poems praising his Lord. He wants to write devotional poems and present my true accounts. He wants to share his sincere feelings for his God, sincere devotion to his God, and this is his service to God. At the same time, he's worried that God might scold him for not using his talent. Like sometimes teachers scold the students, so you're not using your talent. So God might scold him for not using his talent. Lest he, returning child, he might scold him. Why are you not using talent? I could have given to somebody else. So a silly question raises in his mind. So he says that there are two voices in his mind. One is a foolish voice, and the other one is the voice of wisdom. His foolish voice asks him a silly question. So what is a silly question? Doth God exact day labor, light denied? Does God expect him to write poems when he himself has denied him daylight or eyesight? And I fondly I asked a silly question. But the other voice, he labels that voice as voice of patience, to prevent that murmur, to hush that first voice, to hush that foolish voice. It soon replies. It quickly replies to him. What is the reply? And that is given in the last 6 lines. So the problem is presented in the first 8 lines, and in the last 6 lines, he gets the solution to that problem. What is the solution? So what is his problem? Problem is that he is not able to write poems, so he is worried, he is tense that God might scold him for not using his talent, because he feels that talent is a special gift given to certain people. But so God has given him the talent of writing poems, but he is not able to use that talent because of his blindness. So he's worried. So he gets a reply from the other voice, the voice of wisdom, that is patience. It tells him God does not need either man's work. God does not need man's work or his own gifts. So God does not need any physical labor from human beings, at the same time any special gifts that, or the gift, his own gifts, if you don't use the gift that God has given to him. Like for example, God has given him the gift of writing poems to Milton. If Milton is not able to use that gift because of his blindness, God is okay with it, because God doesn't need. Why he doesn't need? And he tells later. But before that, what is that God expects from human beings? It is given in this small line: who best bear his mild yoke, they serve him best. Whoever tolerates the mild problems that God gives him, that is the best service to God. Whoever bears, because God gives mild problems to test the patience of human beings. God does not need, because who best bear this mild yoke. If you bear, if you tolerate that mild bond, because problem is the bond between God and human beings. Problem is the bond between, it links God, it connects you to God, because you think of God, you pray to God whenever you have problems. So problem is the linking point between God and human beings, because if you don't have problems, you don't think of God. There is no bond between God and human beings if there is no problem. So God wants you to be connected to him. So that's why he always gives these kind of mild problems. So that's why he calls us that mild yoke, because God is not cruel, he is not harsh. So he wants to test your patience by giving you mild test, small problems. If you bear that problem, if you bear that punishment, or the mild yoke, they serve him best. They are the best servants of God. They are the best worshippers of God. They are the best loyal, or the children of God. So that's what he says. Why doesn't he need your work? Because his state is kingly. God is the king of the universe. He has thousands of angels to do his service. Thousands at his bidding speed. What do you mean by bidding speed? At his any means here, like we call in chitike. So within a second, with a fraction of second, his servants will appear before him within a fraction of second. So that's why he calls thousands are there at his bidding speed. And where are these angels? They are not only in the presence of God, even they are spread across the world. They are posted over land and ocean without rest. They are doing the service of God without taking any rest. They also serve who only stand and wait. These angels are there around us. They also serve you if you stand and wait. They also serve you if you have the patience to wait for the blessings of God. So that's why don't grumble, don't murmur, don't complain if God gives you problems. That is the test, to test your patience. That he is testing your patience by giving you these problems. Don't fail this test. Don't break the bond. How do you break the bond? By complaining. If you break the bond, then God will not give you blessings. That's why don't worry if you're not able to use the talent or the gift that God has given to you. So be relaxed, be patient. God will take care of you. God will serve you if you only stand and wait. If you only have the patience to stand and wait for his blessings, then he will take care of your needs. So be relaxed, be cool. So don't worry about your problems. God is there to protect you from problems. So this is a message that Milton gets at the time when he loses his eyesight because of his means he loses his sight and he's not able to write poems because of his blindness. Thank you.